Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to start by thanking the High Commissioner for the oral statement on the situation in the Eastern DRC, which persistently constitutes a security threat to the Great Lakes region and to Rwanda in particular. The current session is called for at a time when the situation in the Eastern DRC is evolving rapidly. The Eastern African Community Summit of 29th January and the South African Development Summit of 31st January 25 have convened a summit to discuss today and tomorrow with a view to holding a frank discussion on this crisis and in the hope of finding a lasting solution to a crisis. Therefore, we should give a chance to this important regional initiative to bear fruits before preempting their outcome and attempting to feed the ongoing discussions in the relevant UN bodies. This reminds us of the fate of the EAC regional force that made stride in imposing ceasefire and accompanying the peace process from March to September 2023, during which the M23 relinquished 8% of the territory it was previously holding. But before this process could be completed, the DRC unilaterally decided to expel the force, replacing it with the SAMI DRC with an offensive mandate in the pursuit of a military solution. Rwanda raised concerns about the substitution of the EAC force, a true peacekeeping force, with the SAMI DRC, an offensive force. SAMI DRC is now part of the Kinshasa-led military coalition, which includes the UN-sanctioned genocidal militia FDLR, Burundi forces, European mercenaries, Wazalendo with logistical and operational support by the UN. Those concerns are now proven right as we unfortunately witnessed the result of imposing a military solution to a political problem. Mr. President, these root causes, we shall repeat time and again, are on the one hand, the preservation of the FDLR, a group that committed genocide in Rwanda in 1994, fled to the DRC, where they now pose an existential threat to our security and continue spreading their genocidal ideology. On the other hand, the marginalization of Kinyarwanda-speaking Congolese community, particularly Tutsi, by the government of DRC. Everyone here in this session recalls the Congolese citizens were abominably massacred, lynched, banned, and cannibalized for looking Tutsi. Yet there was no urgent meeting or a special session on this issue. There was no condemnation of the DRC top leadership who used hate speech for electoral purposes and justified the persecution of a portion of its own citizens. Furthermore, there was no special session of this council when in April 2024, the UN Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, Ms. Alice Wairumu-Nderuti, warned about the risk factors for genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity in the Eastern DRC. Mr. President, we categorically oppose the DRC attempts to portraying Rwanda as being responsible for the instability in Eastern DRC. It is a well-known deflection tactic used to escape being accountable for the atrocities Kinshasa and its allied armed group are inflicting on their own citizens. What is clear, however, is the imminent threat the current situation poses to Rwanda. Following the fall of Goma, new evidence has come in light regarding an imminent large-scale attack against Rwanda. The Kinshasa-backed coalition has stockpiled a large number of weapons and military equipment near Rwanda's border, mostly in or around the Goma airport. These weapons include rockets, kamikaze drones, heavy artillery guns capable to shoot precisely within the Rwandan territory. The weapons were not aimed at the threat of operations at the theater of operations against the M23. Rather, they were pointed directly at Rwanda. I would like to recall that on January 26, 2025, retreating DRC forces fired at Rwanda, causing tragic loss of 16 Rwandan lives and injury of 161 civilians. These shelling were deliberate.
Excellency, I ask you to come to the conclusion of your statement.
They could strongly condemn it. Rwanda will not wait for the threat to materialize, and this is why our country maintains proportional, punctual, and dynamic measures to the border to prevent any spillover of this kind and respond appropriately.
Thank you for your declaration.
With regard